right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the PreMarket Prep. I hope you had an amazing day yesterday, and I hope you're having an incredible morning today. Um, Good morning, Norm. How you doing, my brother?
Give me just a second. I'm having an issue, so I'm gonna have to log back in, get going on what happened
Yeah,
yesterday, and I'll be right there. Good morning.
you got it, man. Good morning. All right, guys. As Norm does that, let's take a look at our gappers list right now. It looks pretty light as expected for a day like today. Just getting ready for the holiday. I'm sure many people already started their holidays. Uh, Christmas coming up tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see what kind of interesting day we're going to get. I see the SPY's already doing its thing, dropping here. What an insane day was yesterday. Norm will talk about that in a bit when he gets in. Let's take a quick look at some of the stuff we had yesterday on our list. So good morning, guys. Good morning, FX Phoenix. That's Phoenix Trader, Freedom Trader. Good morning, Gabby. Good morning, Ravzilla. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Let's get our list in here for yesterday. I'm also missing one thing here. I am missing. I just noticed our YouTube friends. Let me get my YouTube chat front and center as well. So we'll get them here, and we will get going. Yes, it is a actually not yet. Right now it's not cold in my area. It's still very, very hot. It's about um what we're looking at, 45 degrees. It's very, very warm actually. So no cold front yet, but it's coming. It's supposed to be pretty nasty. I think state of emergency in some places in New York are being
9 degrees at my house, brother.
wow. That is brutal, my friend. That is brutal. So
Yeah,
yeah, but here last night we had
not used to
tons
it.
of winds and storm, a lot of storm type uh weather, but nothing cold. It's actually pretty warm. Yeah, 9 degrees in Texas is tough. You're just not prepared for that. You know,
Yep.
that's the issue. It's not that oh my god, 9 degrees. No, it's just when you're not prepared for
Wind
something,
chill is
it's
negative
tough.
too. At least we
Yeah.
still have power. The problem we had 2 years ago when we went through this, we had no power.
Right,
So
right, right. Um, let's see, where's our YouTube chat? Okay,
it's all
here we
right. It'll be
go.
70 again by next Thursday, I believe. So
The madness. All right, perfect, guys. So yeah, so some of our stuff from yesterday. Let's take a look here, guys. We have MU. Let's go ahead to our 5 minute, and here we go. MU's action yesterday. We had plenty of stuff that traded well. MU was really not one of them. I mean, they traded better than they normally do, but we had so many other things that were taking the show. We had XBEF sold off really, really nice. I mean, this thing was super clean yesterday. You can see the breakdown here of this 1087 level that we had in the pre-market, and just an amazing fallen angel here, guys. Not fallen, I was rising devil, right? Try to get going before the pre-market there, and it just slants back down, and you see that there. And then, of course, guys, how can we not speak about Tesla sitting at 126 bucks this morning? Hit 122 yesterday. I mean, this thing, what a ride! Hopefully, you guys made out. I did not trade this one, but I know a lot of you guys in the chat, and we're trading this one. I probably all day into probably 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So very, very nice drop there. It's just crazy what's happening with Tesla right now. Already down slightly. With actually, it's not really down. It's actually up a little bit, but it looks like it wants to go red with 3.2 million. We'll keep taking a look at that one in a second. Here is Amazon. Again, another one that just kind of sold off. I saw pretty aggressive and very clean. And this is why I said MU didn't really trade well compared to everything else. They traded well for themselves, but not for compared to the other stuff we had on deck. Here is Apple, also very, very clean. This thing just sold down real nice. Took a bit to get going. This was my trade here. Took a while to actually get going here, but the second attempt, you can see how nice that drop was. And it's funny, I tweeted this. I got out right here, and it just kept on dropping. I think it was like $1 more, and then even further down. So what is short yesterday? AMD also had a very clean break at the morning. Look at these candles here. No pullbacks on the 5 minute at least, right? It's just kind of straight down on Nvidia. I'm sorry, on AMD yesterday. Just tons of opportunity towards the downside. And if you look at the SPY yesterday, again, it was just a free fall into about probably 1:30 or so, 2 o'clock. You started seeing a little bit of a recovery. Norm, a lot happened yesterday. What is the latest and greatest for today as we get into it?
Yeah, we just had PCE come out, and it came in line generally. It came in line with expectations. I'm a little bit surprised to see the move we got on that. Personal spending came in a little bit weaker than expected, significantly weaker than we had a month ago. So personal spending month over month was zero point 0.1 versus zero point 0.2 increase expected, and it was a 0.9 a month ago, the month prior. So, the consumer's slowing down, man. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Uh, PCE year over year price index 5.5 versus 6.1 the month before. So I'm a little surprised to see the big reaction to the downside we saw. I'm kind of thinking we might bounce a little bit. We got SPY that dipped below 380, but we know that's a significant level. Might try to hold there. Q's bouncing back up close to previous day close as well. Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out. I think people are a little antsy after yesterday morning. That data drop came out and just killed everything, and we're getting a little bit. I think people maybe were trying to hop on board of that, and now they're getting turned around and going the other way. So we'll see how it plays out. I came in this morning and I said in the chat with the other mods in here, wow, I guess we're going to talk about Cosm for 45 minutes. But luckily, we're getting a couple of other smaller things popping up here because I really don't want to talk about Cosmos for 45 minutes.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We'll end the show
We
early
all,
instead.
yeah, I mean, I'd rather just go
Yeah.
sit
Yeah.
out in the cold. At 10 a.m. we do. So we had a ton of data drop at 8:30, and then at 10 a.m. Um, 10 a.m. we've got University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index and their 5-year inflation expectations along with new home sales. So,
All right. Excellent, guys. That is what we have. We'll see what we get today. Again, it's not starting off great right now, but I guarantee you that the market, the way it's moving now, look at the move we're getting on the Qs, by the way.
yeah, it's nice.
Bouncing
Man.
back very aggressive. That's nice. That's going to be our catalyst today. So what the market, what the overall market is going to be doing, our gappers list not giving us a whole lot. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead. Control A, Control X gets rid of all this stuff here on our columns, and we'll see what we can fill this up with. And NTNX, we've seen this plenty of times on our list. It doesn't trade very well. I usually stay away from it, and I'm going to do the same today. It's down 14%. But again, we've been getting our usual suspects are going to be the stuff we're going to be looking at, and the overall SPY and Qs. Here's COSM, guys, and this is a good one for today. Definitely going on my main list. I think there'll be some great opportunities on this one. Norman's about to have a heart attack. No, guys, COSM is horrible. We're not even going to spend no time on this. So, let's take a look at our usual suspects and also what you guys have on your end. If you guys have anything, throw it out there. Norm, is there anything sticking out today that you like?
I wish I could say I had something, but I don't see much. So probably if I trade today, it'll just be on the indexes.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the usual suspects. And someone's asking about thoughts on Nike. We'll look at that next. Here is Apple, right? I'll be looking at Apple. Traded very, very well yesterday. We know we're going to be taking a look at Tesla, right? So I'm just going down the list of our usual suspects here. Tesla's going to be a go. I mean, I can't believe this thing is down. Out of one, it hit 122. It's just in the short period of time, right? We know it was in bad situation here, dropping quite a bit. But these drops have been very, very aggressive as we're seeing Tesla here just kind of completely collapse. So Tesla definitely in play. Mr. T also, yeah, I agree. Great volume. Has been having great volume every single morning. I think the lowest volume we saw around this 840 time frame was 2.2 million. Today we're sitting at 3.7. Some cases it's been at 4 million. So the volume is there. You can see here in the daily overall candles as well, slight increase, which is, again, this is a lot because they already traded above 100 million for the most part on any given day. They're doing a little bit higher, almost 100 and what is this? This is 100 and 170, 150, 130. So it's a lot of volume. It's a lot of volume, especially on a week like this one going into a holiday weekend. They're pushing some stuff around. So like this one for sure, guys. Definitely going to be in play today. Where's the support? Where is the next support? I have 117 here. So again, we'll see. So that's going to be on deck for sure. Let's take a look at Nike. So Nike had earnings yesterday, right? It was yesterday or the day before? Day before. right? Day before they had earnings. They reported good news, and you can see they're holding here. So that was a good earnings report for them, because they're holding the gap up, right? They didn't sell back down here all the way down to 104 again. They're holding this, so that's nice. My thoughts on this fascia Atkins is that I it's really not in play anymore. It's in play yesterday. Looks like it did something here as well. This could just be overall market movement, right? The market moved so much yesterday. This could just be moving with the market. It was good not to see this thing sell off yesterday, so that's a strong sign for them at the moment. But it's not in play. I mean, the volume it's no longer here. Only 27,000. So if you're watching this, just be aware that is no longer in play like it was 2 days ago. Look at the volume here 2 days ago, and going up to that earnings release. You can see some of the action happening there, but that's it. It's probably going to go back down to trading its regular volume. I don't see anything happening on this unless some negative news comes out and we start giving back some of the gains that we had here on this beautiful gap up. It was up like what? Was it 14%? I forget the exact number, but it was up quite a bit on that gap up. Let's take a look at mRNA from Chris. Could break out. Let's take a look. mRNA. mRNA this morning. I like the daily. I like if this was any other stock, it would definitely be on my list because I think this will eventually break out. I'm with you, Chris, on this. I think it's setting up nicely, right? It had a great run, had a couple of gap ups here, and it's holding nicely higher lows as you can see on the daily. So I think there's a great opportunity for a breakout. It's just I don't like the way the stock trades. The price action, the spread on this thing is pretty nasty. So that keeps me away from it. I did trade. If you guys remember, I traded on this gap up day here, and pretty much, small win, break even type of trade. But while I was in it, the price action was just so bad. And this was on the day where they had the most volume since at least what I'm showing here since November 1st, right? They had the most volume and they traded like that. So that is one of the things that keeps me away from mRNA. It is not the same stock it was when the pandemic and things were coming out and the flu shots, and not the flu shot, but the COVID shot and all that stuff. It's not the same thing anymore, right? So be careful there. And look out for the spread. If you're going to be trading this, I'm not saying it's not tradable, depending on what strategy you're doing, but just take a look at that spread because it was nasty at times, more often than not, that I would like on a stock to be if I'm trading it. SPY moving over $2 already. Yeah, it's cranking, man. It's cranking. We should see some stuff appear in our gap up list in a few minutes if it keeps going. We should see something, and most likely it's going to be our usual suspects. So we should see something. Let's see what happens. All right, TQQs. Yeah, of course. Yeah, TQQ will be moving strong. Absolutely. Amazon. Yeah, slim pickings, guys. We're going to be looking at. We're basically going to be looking at our usual suspects, right? Just looking at the Qs and the SPY, see what opportunities they can create today. Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, Apple, Tesla. Usual suspect stuff on here. That is good. How about Nvidia? Nvidia. How did it do yesterday? It sold off as well. I did not have it on my list, but pretty good sell off there also. Yeah. So we'll see what takes place there. How about AMC? I know that stuff was moving yesterday. What did it end up doing? Just curious because I know that. Okay, didn't. Yeah, not interested in it anyways. Ben, you're giving us meta to. Are you saying meta to zero, or are you saying meta? Oh, what does that mean? Meta. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I mean, the daily's just going sideways here. Volume is dropping down over the last couple of days. So they're not really in play. They have not been in play in the last few days, but the market is, moving things around. I don't see this being on my list today, And my list today is going to be, it could be just these three right here, guys. It really can. It's that type of day where, there's not much going on unless, the SPY continues to push higher here after such an aggressive drop yesterday. We will see. We will see. Norm, do you expect the volume to die down earlier today as well?
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what today brings, guys. We'll see. So Meta and Google room to go higher. I mean, yeah, there's definitely room to go higher. I mean, I think Meta has taken a big hit. They recovered quite a bit from the last gap down they had here, but they have room to do better. Obviously, these tech companies are down huge, but Meta has its own issues, by the way. I mean, they have fundamental problems with this with how they're investing all their money, and and what people think about the direction. So there's a lot of issues there. Users going to so many different options of platforms now. So it's bigger than just the overall market here for Meta. Advertising being down is a huge issue for them as well. We will have to see. We will have to see. But they still have a strong user base. Like I don't hear the users numbers collapsing like it did like on Netflix, for example, right? Netflix had a drastic loss of like was it like 2 million users in a span in a short period of time. That was not good. So that killed them. They recovered since then a little bit, but I just who knows? We'll have to see. But for intraday trading, I mean, there's just not a whole lot for us to pick on here. Besides, the day looks interesting, and we'll need to wait for some really good positive news to get this going. The suck doesn't give a heck about investors. No, no, I think he does, but I think he strongly believes in what he's investing in, right? And this is
Who?
what I well, Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg, but he
Oh,
doesn't
I
give.
didn't see it. I didn't. I,
Yeah,
I couldn't see the note. I didn't hear what you said.
yeah. So I think he cares about investors, but he strongly believes in the stuff he's investing in for the future of the company. And this is how I see it. I mean, it's you know
Doesn't mean he's right.
doesn't mean he's right. If he's right, he's going to crush it. I mean, that is at his level. That is the play. Think about it. I mean, that's the play. You want to plan to be set for the next, you know, 10, 20 years, if that's the case, right? That's the play. Or else, if you don't change, you stay the same, then you just die. It's simple as that. So I don't blame him for making that play. If he's right, he's going to be right very big. And if he's wrong, then, he can move on to trade something else. So, but investors don't like that. I agree. They don't like it, but we'll see. We will find out. That's for sure. Microsoft. Microsoft. It cost him so far. I mean, what is costing him? He's losing a couple of billions. A guy that's has more than enough and wears the same shirt
He's
every
lost a
day.
lot of money.
Yeah, he wears the same shirt every day. It doesn't like he spend on anything. You know, what is really costing him, right? So yeah, I don't think he's too worried about
Sunscreen.
that. Yeah, he's not worried about that neither. Do we expect a pullback on CAT? Let's take a look at Microsoft first, and we'll look at CAT. Microsoft, guys, just nothing going on. And volume is very light, so not really in play this morning. CAT, I doubt they're doing anything because CAT doesn't really move, and the only time we look at this one, guys, is when
Pre-market. Yeah.
it has earnings, right? So daily looks interesting for a possible breakout. Big drop yesterday, but I won't give them too much credit for this because if you look at this, what they're doing, they're just following the overall market, right? So my thoughts on this is for intraday plays, not really in play. If you're looking for a breakout to get higher, depending on their overall business, that could be an opportunity there, but that's a whole different show. Um, all right, let's see here. All right, guys, we have time for questions. Anything you guys have, throw it out there. I have three on my list already: Apple, Tesla, and Amazon. I'm happy with those, and of course, I'll put it on here. We're going to be watching the SPY and the Q. We're going to be watching these two here to see what kind of activity we're going to get. So, really, just sideways action right now. We need to wait for this thing to settle down and see what it gives us. So, let's head over to community events and announcements. And Norm, what do you want to start off? I know we're off next week as far as webinars. Um,
Yeah, just I mean, we can skip the webinar discussion today,
yeah.
guys. Well, no, let's go through it. Go to the page. That way, we can talk about what we have in the new year.
Yeah.
As you pull up the website, bareboldtraders.com/webinars. I will describe onboarding every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is predominantly for newer members to get an idea, get their foot in the door, BBT, understand how everything works here. That because of the holiday is moved to next Tuesday night, so be sure to check it out Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. On Tuesdays, we do success webinars, which we don't have any next week, as Carlos mentioned. The first Tuesday in January, the 3rd, 5 p.m. Eastern, We've got Eamon talking about reading price action, and then the following week, Andrew will be discussing the 920 trade book strategy. Wednesdays, we do psychology. We'll have Dr. Kenneth Reed on the 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern, talking about game of probabilities. And then Creta, 5 p.m. special time because of her time zone on the 11th, talking about finding your mental edge. Thursdays, we have mentorship with John at 11 a.m. and Thor at 8. Boot camp right now, guys. We are signing up for the boot camp. It is about half full. We can talk about that in a second, but there you go. Boot camp, it's about half full. Be sure to sign up. It starts on January 9th. We are going to have live trading as a big part of this, minimum of twice a week with mentors in a Zoom kind of setting, not in a chat room, where you guys can all discuss what's going on and what they're thinking and ask questions and all kinds of stuff. It should be awesome. They're going to help you go through the program, build a trade book, figure out what strategies work best for you, help you perfect that trade book, and then how to continue that on after the program, the 3-month program, is over. So be sure to check that out at pcapitaltrading.com. Vastly reduced number of participants will be involved. We're capping it at about 30. So check that out. Also, Florida, guys, the not Florida, San Diego, Southern California this time. I'm wishing I was in Florida right now. That's watching iguanas fall from trees, or maybe a little further south in the Keys. Maybe that's what's popping in my head. Anyway, the San Diego workshop, guys, it's a 2-day event. It's the first 2-day event we've done. We're moving on from the success we had in Florida with 100 traders there. So we're going to have presentations, discussions, panel discussions with all the mods that are there. We're going to have live trading in this. We're going to have a group dinner the first evening, where you can actually get a second ticket if you have a family member or friend you want to bring that's not necessarily a trader or interested in trading, but wants to hang out and meet everybody. You can do that by the second ticket on there. So be sure to check that out, guys. The cost is the cost. It's the cost we have to ourselves. We're essentially, we actually lose a little bit of money on this, but we try to get what we can to at least get close to breaking even. Anyway, we had a blast at the last one. This is going to be amazing, especially over 2 days. And in San Diego. All right. TradingTerminal.com. Be sure to check that out. That is our free resource to the trading community with all kinds of tools that people pay thousands of dollars a year for. So be sure to check that out at TradingTerminal.com. You've got earnings calendars, heat maps. You've got opinion pieces on trades and what they're looking for in the market from some really great minds. You've got your replay scanner, where you can hone your trading skills 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And our scanners, which are there for your use for free. Like I said, people pay a couple $1,000s a year for those on some platforms. And if you're watching on YouTube, use the promo code PreMarket24 for the intro membership that you see. It's at the homepage of Bear Bull Traders. You can come in and try it, no obligation. 7 days, 7 calendar days, 5 trading days. There is a holiday on Monday, so it's 4 trading days if you were to sign up today, but nevertheless, still a great deal. It's a one-time payment. It does not recur. You actively have to go choose another membership category if you'd like to continue on. And Holiday 60. Just a reminder, we have to increase prices because our vendors have been increasing prices steadily on us over the last year to 18 months, and we've held steady, but we've got to do something about it. So check that out. Holiday 60, you can lock it in. Even if your membership expires in 6 or 7 months, you want to lock in that price for the next year, it'll just add it on to your existing term. So there you go. Oh, and yes, Peter is leaving. Peter, this is your last day until when?
He's got a wedding, right? Wedding in London.
His son is getting married in Scotland, I believe. And this is Peter's last day in the room until January 9th. He's heading across the pond, and he's having a meetup on the 5th. So he posted that Peter, post it up in the alerts above so it sticks up there as well. That would be awesome. Peter, would love to see you. I know some other members like Hamish will be there in London, January 5th, which is next, what? Oh, not next. It's about a week and a half away. Anyway, we will, yeah, no more polls. Not for now. Anyway, unless we have a poll about polls, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I hope I'm going to let Carlos do his levels now. I'm going to try to hop back on, but I've got a couple things I got to take care of. If I'm not here, I want everybody to have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family.
Yes,
Trade
absolutely.
smart.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, my friend.
I love how this is a multiple choice poll. Should we have a poll with no response available?
No available options. Love it. Love it. Love it.
That's keep it
That's
classy.
Peter. Peter for you. All right, Norm, we'll talk soon, man. Happy holidays. If I don't speak to you, but I'm sure we'll be in touch.
Well,
so yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry guys, hold on a second. I thought my screen froze, but no, that's the poll that keeps coming up. Okay, never mind. Guys, let's take a look at what we have here. So right now, Apple, Tesla, and Amazon SPY continues to just go sideways here. So it's not a whole lot going on there at the moment. So we will keep an eye on that. But that's my play today, is to see if the market is going to provide any kind of a movement like it did yesterday, whether up or down, that can cause some of our usual suspects to actually do something and get going. But for the most part, pretty quiet, as you can see here. So we'll wait for our moderators to. I would love to see what our moderators are watching today. They're probably going to have one or two tickers that they like that they'll be keeping an eye on. But for the most part, is as we mentioned, very slim pickings this morning. So yeah, as Norm mentioned, guys, closed on Monday, right? So the market is closed on Monday and is back on Tuesday, right? So back to trading on Tuesday. All right, let's see here. Let's do levels. Let's do Apple. And again, I think these levels are going to be very easy because a lot of this stuff is going to be stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. So get your answers ready, questions ready, because we'll have time to do some questions, get into a little bit of a Q&A this morning since we have the time to do so. 131.09 and 133.44 are an Apple. It's all I'm marking down, the high and the low of the pre-market. That's all you really need. You're surrounded by a lot of levels here and pretty much flat right now. We moved up and down to this range that we created here, about $2 plus range, and we're just kind of flat right there back at the previous day close, right? Now, this guy here is going to be very, very interesting. Like, this is the top one I'm going to be having my eyes on, aside from the market, because after what's been happening on Tesla since the 15, I mean, the downturn started a while ago, but since the 15, guys, since the 16, actually, it has been nothing but a bloodshed on Tesla. So, I mean, I knew 150 was okay. Yeah, we'll hit 150. I thought we were going to bounce here and just kind of do this a little bit, maybe even squeeze higher, you know. But to be down here at 126, hitting 122 yesterday, that is something to say about this ticker. That is not healthy at all. So I'm looking forward to see what this is going to do today. And man, if we drop some more, I had a level at 117 here. Let's see. It's scary what's happening with Tesla right now. So I hope that people that are investing in this for the long term, that they're not on leverage, because this is what happens now. When you start dropping this much, if anybody's holding this on leverage, that's when it starts getting dicey, right? You might be right, but if you're leveraged right now, you might be in a situation where you might be getting close to a problem where you might have no more equity buying power left to hold those margins. So we will see, guys. Let's see what happens here. I have 117 again, the same level as yesterday off the weekly, 117 there. And let's see where this goes. The volume is in 4.5 and climbing. I mean, it's madness right now on Tesla. So best one right now. Robbie says Tesla to 100. You know what? 2 days ago, I would have said no way. Today, I'm going to say maybe. Maybe. I mean, it is just the drop you're getting here is very, very aggressive. And be careful, guys. This company's not going bankrupt. I don't think that's going to happen, right? But be careful trying to time a bounce. When something there's a freight train right now. You don't want to step in front of this to try to make a play. Very, very careful in doing so. The drops on this thing are very aggressive. So definitely one that I like to see this morning. My favorite one for today for sure. The other ones are just kind of doing their own thing with not their own thing. It's just kind of following whatever the overall market is doing. On Amazon here, which traded very well, very clean yesterday too. 83.11 and 84.60 high and low of the pre-market. That's all we're doing there. And then the next one, I want to keep an eye on AMD because AMD actually was very clean yesterday. So I'll put one semi on here. I'll put AMD, and that'll be my list for today, guys. Apple, Tesla, Amazon, and AMD. So that is what we have, and I think that's more than good enough for what we got going on this morning. Where just not a whole lot in play. All right. With that said, any tickers you guys want me to look at? Any questions you might have that we might get into? CLF, Triple D saying CLF might be interesting today. Good move yesterday. Possible continuation. Let's take a look at CLF. Let's bring that up here. And CLF right now. How did it do yesterday? I'm not a fan of these Cleveland Hills, right? I've seen it many times in the past here. I don't like the way the price action is. Me personally, Triple D, just based on the way I trade, this is not a good one for me. It looks like it had a nice movement yesterday, right? But even then, the moves are very small, right? I mean, this is 16 dollars there. You move the whole buck on a move like this when we have plenty of stocks that yesterday with the market, this was a $2-3 move, right? So um again, this type of stock is not one that I'm a fan of. So again, good move yesterday, but I think there might be other opportunities out there that might be better. But a possible continuation today, absolutely. If it can get going, it can do that. Now, keep in mind, this thing gets volume one day, then goes flat again, right? Had volume here, had volume here. If it goes flat, not saying that it cannot break out without volume, right? Because you can break out without volume, but the trading something without volume, the way I trade, or momentum breakout, right? Or a scalp without volume is very difficult to do. And the spread could be very nasty as well. So just be mindful of that when you're taking these, looking at something like COF, right? But the daily looks interesting, definitely strong. Um, Tesla bearish. I mean, what's your time frame? Yeah, it's definitely bearish right now. There's no. I don't know how you can have a different opinion on Tesla, than just bearish all the way, all the way. This thing is just dropping. So it'll eventually become bullish. You'll eventually get an opportunity, but I think when something has done a lot of technical damage, guys. Right here, this is dropped. I'm sure well more than anyone would have expected. Many people would have expected, right? So you got to be careful with it. It will bounce, but it's just timing the bounce on this. You gotta be careful with that mentality. Say, okay, this is really low. I'm gonna get in here. It has to bounce. It doesn't have to bounce. It can get to 117. It can get to 120. So let's see what the market open does. I think the first 15 minutes are gonna be a little bit tough to decide what it really wants to do unless it just starts flushing or squeezing. I think it's going to be a difficult open to read on Tesla, especially when you're getting all this volume and when you don't have nothing else to really watch right now, right? I mean, how many people are going to be watching Tesla just because they don't have nothing else to really watch that's on play? I mean, look at the scappers list. There's really nothing happening here, right? Jack says Tesla going up today, as someone on Twitter told me. Love it. Yes, we will take that professional social media advice for sure. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But we will be along for the ride on this one, at least watching the ride. And if we can jump in safely, we will. We will on Tesla on a day like today. Um, if market is weak, Microsoft looks promising on the daily. Lost the 50 MA. Let's take a look. Microsoft, I have not seen that one. Uh, yeah, just losing this level here. You can see that nice loss of that level right on there, around 240 or so. Yeah, it could actually. The day looks pretty good on Microsoft. We got a couple of levels towards the bottom here. But again, that'll be dependent on right the overall market because that's all they're doing right now. It's just how is Microsoft, how is the SPY and the Qs moving for today? So they're back flat again. It's just kind of stuck within this range right now, up and down, just kind of hugging around the previous day close at the moment for both of these. Thoughts on XPON? Sounds familiar, but I don't recall this company. XPON. Oh, okay. This is an ETF, I believe, right? Experian. What is this? Experian 360. I forget what this is. I don't know if it's an ETF, but it's one of these. It's one of these weird tickers. I'm not sure about this one, man. Um, yeah, I will stay away from this. Me personally, the way I trade, this is not one I'll have on deck. Um, well, Carlos, looks like you have to add COSM. No, no, I'd rather cut the show off. I am not adding COSM to my list. No way, man. No way, no way. This is just pure garbage. This is gambling here at this point. I mean, listen, if you are skilled at, I don't know, scalping, right? It's probably the only thing you could do here is probably scalp. There's no way you go into COSM and say, "Hey, I'm going to be looking for ABCD pattern." No, you're not. There's too many fake outs. This just you either a very good scalper, which you can plan a couple of things like that, and you got to be very very good experience with a track record, right? Or else you're just gambling on this thing. I mean, it's really it. I don't see no other options with the way this thing trades, right? So very very careful, guys, very careful. I mean, look at this here. This is the type of nonsense that kills accounts, right? Look at this nonsense here, right? Look at this. So this was on the 21st. It was 2 days ago, right? Had some volume, dropping, no volume. Then out of nowhere, this thing just starts popping up. Look at the squeeze out of nowhere for no obvious reason. Like there's no reason for this thing to be happening. It's not going higher. It's not hitting a level. It just starts squeezing for no reason. I mean, traders get killed on something like this. Think, oh, it's dropping. Then you get hit with this in a couple of minutes. Yeah, it's just not worth it. And then the drop. Look at this drop here, right? 820 down to 760. You see, this is the type of stuff you just don't want to mess with. No way. Um, just shows a face to black on. Yeah, exactly. I do the Homer Simpson into the bushes on this COSM. Um, APE. This is Ape, right? What? How did it end up yesterday? Our Ape and AMC. We looked at AMC, didn't do much. Ape is more of a penny stock. I mean, it has some noise yesterday, right? That's not it, right? This is it right here. There's some stuff yesterday. Got to $2, then back down in the pre-market this morning. How about yesterday? I want to see yesterday. Yesterday, yeah, it just went sideways. Didn't really do much. Again, this is. I don't understand what was the purpose of this. I know there's an explanation. I still and there's some and people have told me the explanation like several times, several different ways. I still don't get it. I don't understand what was the point of this ticker at all. But it is what it is. It was so cheap. I was scalping 35,000 shares at a time. On which one? An ape. Well, that's what happens, right? And this is a mistake that newer traders usually make, right? They want to trade or undercapitalized traders, right? If you have like a $5,000 account, you want to trade a lot of share size, and you think that trading these smaller stocks, it's a good idea, right? So you can load up on shares, and that is the worst thing to do, right? I think these stocks are more unpredictable. They're difficult to identify the price action, the movement. You are going to have a better chance of learning how to trade with large cap to mid flow caps, right? Stocks. It's just the way it is. They're going to be a lot cleaner. You're not going to get these aggressive moves, right? You can, don't get me wrong. There's stocks like Tesla that could rip your shirt off, but for the most part, stuff like AMD, Apple, Nvidia, there's just much cleaner. You might not be able to load up the boat, right, and take 35,000 shares of $1.50 stock, but you can still make good consistent profits on stocks that move like that. And that's the key, guys. The key is not to hit a grand slam once every 3 months. Is to be consistently profitable. That's the goal here, right? It's not to have a grand slam you can put in baseball card numbers and say, hey, yeah, I had a 3 grand slams for this year, but yeah, what cost, right? So just be very careful at that. Um, Megan's watching Netflix today. That's the only thing on her list. So we got Megan, we got Peter. Peter's watching three of our usual suspects here: AMD, Apple, and Tesla. Pretty much what I have as well, with Amazon on deck and the scanners. So yeah, the type of morning that it is. Um, Good, Matthew. I'm glad in simulator you definitely want to try there first before you do anything in live. Absolutely. Okay, excellent, guys. Anything else? How many Twitter account does Joe have? Joe, who's Joe? I have no idea. Joe. Um, will volume be less today? I don't know if it's gonna be less. I don't know if it might die down. Usually, leading up to a holiday, things will die down. Around 11, 12, things will die down. But and that's kind of asked Norm too. The same thing. Do you think it's gonna die down? But I agree with his answer. Today, maybe not, because just the way this market has been, right? There are people that are going to be watching. This is not like a day where, I mean, look what happened yesterday. We're not coming off just a regular, moving sideways type day. We had a big drop and a big recovery. So there will be people, even if they're off with their family, there will be people logging into their laptop and phones to see what the heck is going to happen today, right? It's that type of day. So I think the volume is still going to be there. Is my take on it. Well into the entire day, especially depending how this guy does here. If you guys remember, man, two years ago, maybe no, maybe a little more, maybe 3 years ago when I first started trading, afternoons were just after it's like at 11:30, everybody in Wall Street just went to lunch, and then they came back at 2 o'clock, right? So between 11:30 and 2 o'clock, you do not want to be trading. That was 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. You just don't want to be in the market at that time. It was watching paint dry. And it doesn't matter what ticker it was, where they gapped up, 15, 20% between 11:30 and 2 o'clock. Everybody went to lunch. There's nobody trading this thing. Then at 2 o'clock, you might get either a reversal or a drop, and then you have the power hour at 3 o'clock. Now that's changed. Now with the way this market is, but again, you didn't have the market moving up, 3-4% a day, one direction, the other direction. You didn't have that madness. It's very different now. Very, very different. So volume can be on all day, like Tesla, like Apple yesterday, right? It's the moves are so aggressive, and the volatility is a lot higher. And not just now because we're in are we in a recession yet? I mean, we're not in a recession. It's just people just can't make up their minds. But in this type of economy, let's put it that way. In this type of economy, and man, this thing is just wild. It's just wild. Uh, all right, perfect, guys. We're set 9:15. Let's take a look at our moderators list. I gave you already Peter and Megan on what they have. We are in not a recession. Okay, is that what it is? Is a fish technically not a recession? Um, tell you this though, it feels like it. Feels like it. Things are not great. Let me get our moderators list over here, guys. Let me bring this over. And we will see what we can do here. We are in a transitory one. Yeah, that word's got to go into history books, man. Uh, Here we go. Let's see. All right, so Peter, there's Peter, there's Megan. That's their list for today. What popped up in the gap up? I don't know what came here. Alvo. Oh, but this is not a great one. We saw this a few days ago. We'll take a look at it now in a second. We'll see what Alvo has for us. But this is our moderators list, guys. Not a whole lot for today. Again, it is a quiet day, Friday leading up to a holiday weekend here. So just be very patient today. You really have to be very patient and let the market. I think the SPY and the Qs let it do its thing, and let's see if we can tag on to one of these things. Riding one way or the other. I see Tesla is pushing higher here, up almost 1%, so that's good. Let's see what opportunities we can find. And again, today's a day where if you leave without trading anything, or if you end your day without trading anything, that's okay. You do not need to push something today. And you guys know Fridays, right? You don't want to be a hero on Friday, but this Friday, the day before Christmas, yeah, you or the Christmas weekend, right? Christmas Eve, you do not want to mess this up. You do not want to mess this up, right? This is a day where if you've been doing good for the week, keep it like that. Just keep those vibes going for the weekend. Have an amazing holiday weekend with your friends and family. You're off on Monday, so you cannot come back and make things up right away. And this thing is going to haunt you all the way to Monday, to Tuesday, while you're trying to spend time with your family. So again, be very, very careful. Be disciplined today, guys. Don't force it. And if you're not doing well, if your week is down, right? If you're down for the week, you don't need to make it up today. You do not need to make it up today. We'll be back next week. We'll be back on Tuesday, and we will find opportunities to trade. This is so important, guys. I cannot tell you how many times I have done it, right? When you come in and you had a great week, and then you have a horrible day to end, Friday to end the week. It is the worst feeling going into the weekend because for some reason, the last trade or the last trading day is kind of like the one that sticks with you, right? So just be mindful of that. Be very, very careful with that. Okay, excellent, guys. That is our wise words for today. Have an amazing weekend. We are all set. There we go. I was stalling a little bit for Brian without actually telling him I was stalling, but here it is. Brian's list: Tesla, Amazon, NTNX, and the indexes today. So there we go. Oh, you meant okay. Oh, that's what you meant. Gotcha now. All right, perfect, guys. Have an amazing weekend, guys. Happy holidays to those that celebrate. Merry Christmas to those that celebrate. Have an amazing three-day weekend, and we will see you guys on Tuesdays. For those that are on YouTube and you want to come and join our onboarding class, by the way, hit that thumbs up. Sitting at an all-time low of 79 likes, which is okay for a day like today. But if we get to 100, I'll feel much better and warm inside as I go over to our chat for trading. On Tuesday, remember, no onboarding class on Monday, guys. It was going to be on Tuesday at 8 p.m. So make sure you put that down. So you join us at Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the onboarding class. So take care, guys. Happy holidays once again. Thank you for the likes buttons. 2 away from 100. And let's see here. Oh, I haven't liked it yet. There we go. I got 100. All right, cool. We're set. Guys, have a great, great weekend. We'll see you.